Ladies and gents, we're back with a bit of German ground hopping. It's the morning after the night before, when of course England once again did not bring it home. Shock, completely outplayed by Spain last night. Check out last night's vlog, by the way. But we're not going to dwell on England. We've made this trip to Berlin worthwhile as we're here at, let me just pronounce this right, the Stadion an der Alten FORESTE'S. Have I got that right? Stadium at the old FORESTE'S house. Apparently that's what it translates to. We're going to have a little look round the exterior of the home of Union Berlin. Now this is weird because, let's walk and talk, guys. It's weird because, well, maybe we'll stop. There's some kids over there. I don't want to be filming near kids. So that would look a bit dodgy. My very first trip to Berlin was all the way back in 2006. I came on a sixth form, like a college trip, and we went to the Olympia Stadion. So I don't upset anyone around here, but Hertha, the Berlin rivals to Union, were kind of my first German club. I followed them for about a year, then lost interest. But Union Berlin definitely have more of the bragging rights as of more recent times, because obviously Union Berlin, despite quite a poor season last season, they are a Bundesliga club. The very first time they made their way into the Bundesliga was quite recent as well. 2019, I believe. And was it that very first season or was it the season after? They qualified for UEFA Europa Conference League football, the year after Europa League football, and the year after that they finished fourth in the Bundesliga, so therefore we're playing in the bloody Champions League. An incredible feat when I give you a bit of a backstory as to the club. If you're watching this and you are an Union Berlin fan, again, apologies for that, for what I just said. My allegiances, I've got no allegiances to Hertha, but I don't know much about the club. I only know the basics of more recent times, but I have had a little look at Wikipedia. There is a kind of cottagey house thing here just outside the ground, and you can see why it is called a stadium at the FORESTE'S house. Maybe that is the FORESTE'S house. It's got to be. But yes, England's completely outplayed last night, so I want to take my mind off anything to do with the Olympia Stadion. So I was going to visit the home of Hertha Berlin as well, but I think I'm going to give that a miss for this trip. We are staying in Dresden tonight, but we're going to go to Dresden via Leipzig and visit every German's favourite club, RB Leipzig. Obviously I'm joking. So let's make our way through the gates of the home of Union Berlin. Let's go, guys. Right, I was going to do a bit of a time lapse and actually go in, but we've stopped already because we've stumbled upon some history. Now again, my German, mein Deutsch, ist nicht sehr gut, because I've noticed this, the 2000-2001 season, and again, as I check my notes, in the 2000-2001 season, it's when finally Union Berlin made their way into the Zweite Bundesliga, our equivalent of the championship, the second division of German football. Now the reason that's significant is because Union Berlin were an East German team. Well, they still are, like, you know, in the eastern region, of course, the eastern part of Berlin, but obviously when the country was split in two, they couldn't play Bundesliga football because they were in the east side of Germany. Now, they were initially put in the third regional kind of league, like the third division of German football. And despite winning the league twice, again, as I check my notes, in 1993 and 1994, because of financial problems they faced off the back of, financial troubles off the back of the reunification of Germany, they were denied promotion to the second tier. So despite winning the third tier twice, they were denied promotion, which is why this is so significant, because they finally, years later, got that bloody promotion. Now, I recently made a video called 5 Reasons Why Bundesliga is Better Than Premier League. Now, a lot of you might be watching this off the back of that video. Another thing I love about German football is not only the fan involvement, but how they embrace the heritage of the club. Very much based on the workers, the club in its original state. Now, if we reference Union Berlin's kind of workers and so on, again, I'm going to have to keep looking to the side of the camera because I have made some notes whilst at the hotel. But believe it or not, despite their rivals being Hertha Berlin, who play in blue and white, they did originally play in blue and white. That blue and white kit was basically kind of a tribute to the sort of colours that the workers would wear. I've got here the fans chant Eisen Union, which is like Iron Union. So if we're going to make a British comparison, an English comparison, maybe think of like West Ham and the Irons, the Iron. A similar thing. This is very much one of the largest industrial centres in East Germany. So if you're wondering why I look like Robbie Fowler from the mid-90s, the Liverpool player, I tried to look like Paul Gascoigne for last night's game, and my hair is looking horrendous. I don't normally look like this, guys. But back to the stadium. Originally, this was built in 1920, or opened in 1920. The current capacity is 22,012 people, according to Wikipedia. Take that with a pinch of salt. Now, again, walk with me, guys. There is a little cheeky glimpse inside the ground. And if you are new to Rise Football Paradise, especially in England, when we do these little walks around football grounds, we take a little look through the corners of football grounds. So we're going to do just that. So again, referencing the reasons why I love German football is the fan involvement, and that can never be more evident here basically, because this Stadion an der Alten Forsterei, again apologies for the pronunciation, in its current state is partly down to the hard work of volunteers, fans of Union Berlin, because it was renovated off the back of those financial struggles. But despite the fact I've just said 22,012 in terms of capacity, I was quite surprised to see that only 3,167 of that capacity is seating. Now, we all know the rules are a bit different here in Germany compared to England. If you are German and you're a little bit younger, there was a major disaster in a stadium in 1989 in a match between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, whereby many people lost their lives. And off the back of that, all English stadiums became all-seater stadiums. But in Germany, obviously they've maintained the terracing. As you can see right in front of me, the terracing is looking really good. And as much as it's quite weird to see as an Englishman, I really like the fact that you can stand up and watch football. I know we can through safe standing and stuff now, but it's looking fantastic. So as you can see, reception is over that way. We're going to head over that way now. But that's pretty much all I've got in terms of trivia. My little Wikipedia research this morning at the hotel. Obviously trying to take my mind off last night's result. One thing I've noticed with German football grounds is the shops. This is Monday morning, by the way. The club shop is like rarely open. Maybe that's just me being unlucky. If you come to Germany, nothing's open on a Sunday. But also the shops are miles away from the actual ground. I'm not sure if it's true, but I did pass an Union Berlin building that way. I'm not sure whether that is the shop. This must be a reception. Yes, reception in there. Ladies and gents, reception. Nice. Lounges. What is that over there? Let's go and check that building out over there, shall we? Oh, before we do, guys, let's walk and talk. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Rather than seeing my ugly mug, you can see what I can see, and I can just use the microphone. So here is a statue, of course. A couple of very short players. Christ, they've got to be 5 foot tall. But what is that trophy? Is that from the old, what was it called? The equivalent of the Bundesliga in East Germany. Is that from then? Again, I'm still new to German football. As much as I'm loving it, I'm very much still learning the history of German clubs. But again, don't mistake my lack of knowledge for a lack of respect or a lack of interest, because I'm absolutely loving Germany, the German people, and of course, German football clubs. So I didn't really go into much detail as to what Eisen Union actually, why they actually chant that. Yeah, it is a chant, basically a tribute chant. They've been chanting that years and years, apparently. I don't know whether this might be the shop on match day. I can see Adidas and some posters. Let's take a closer look. How random is that, guys? We mentioned the Hillsborough disaster, and here we have a Sheffield Wednesday sticker. Obviously Sheffield Wednesday play at Hillsborough. guys, absolutely scorchio now. That shop was fantastic. I didn't even realise it was open. So take what I said back. The shops are open. It's just dopey British people like myself find it difficult to find the entranceway. I am squinting because I got a little bit pissed up yesterday during the England game and lost my sunglasses. Right guys, there's not much to show you because I did ask the kind gentleman in there, but unfortunately he can't let us inside the ground for security reasons. However, everyone is really friendly. There is sometimes a misconception that Germans can be quite serious, but I've had a right laugh with everyone I've met on every trip I've had when I've come to Germany. The lady in the shop and the bloke there have told me a little bit more about the club's history. Now that building behind me is indeed the cottage, the original cottage when the stadium was built. And apparently the Forester, I'm not sure the exact translation, apparently someone was living there up until like 15 years ago. So really, really interesting backstory here at Union Berlin, the Stadion an der Alten Forsterei. He did say go back to the gate I was at to try and get another cheeky glimpse. I'm going to try and zoom in on the phone. But ladies and gents, what a fantastic club. We were planning on coming back here this season anyway. As I said, I love Bundesliga football. So get your game suggestions in for Spieltag 1. I was thinking of watching, I do have a little bit of a thing for Bochum. So I was going to watch Bochum in Leipzig. And speaking of Leipzig, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sweating as well because I've been smashing the Red Bulls down to get me in the spirit of what many people consider a hollow plastic club. We'll find out for ourselves in a moment because we're off to Leipzig, baby, on the way to Dresden. Tomorrow, a bit of Dynamo Dresden. So if you are new around here, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get one last cheeky look through those gates. Right, final few words, guys. My thoughts of last night. I didn't say anything last night because I didn't want to get caught up in the moment. Obviously, Spain were the better team, the best team in the tournament, and it's very much different from Euro 2020 in 21 when really we should have beat Italy. That was our tournament to win. But we were, I say we were completely outplayed. I don't think Spain were that good. I think it was more the fact that we were poor. Bellingham was off, Rice was off, a lot of players were off. But some highlights from the tournament, maybe Mark Gahey, Kobbie Mainoo as a Man United fan come out his shell. There were a few positives. Jordan Pickford was pretty decent. In terms of Southgate, I know he's going to get all the blame, but he did make those substitutions. He did put Cole Palmer on, who went on to score. He did take Kane off, the captain. Bold move again, even though Kane was very poor as well. Put on Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins got put through by Bellingham. One of his only good things Bellingham did in that game. Unfortunately, couldn't get his shot away. But it's one of those things, isn't it? I wasn't even that down. But one thing I did notice was that Spanish fans almost acted like they didn't really care. Like, if we win, we win. Who cares? We've won loads over the last 15 years or whatever. That's the reason I think why us. I'm not trying to justify our actions. It very much was an eye opener when you're there amongst fellow English fans as to why so many countries hate our England fans, because some of the behaviour of them is crazy. By the end of the night, as good a time as we were having, if you did see the vlog, by the end of the night, some of them were fighting themselves. It's embarrassing. But most English fans were good and took it on the chin, shook hands with the Spanish. We had a bit of banter, but it was all good. But what I'm trying to say is the Spanish didn't even celebrate that much. If England had won yesterday, I think I'd still be drunk now on the floor celebrating in the centre of Berlin. I think it just means too much. We need to chill out a little bit. Maybe if we do chill out, something will happen. Ladies and gents, that's all for today. I'll catch up with you tomorrow for a bit more ground hopping. See you soon.